So your banking experience and CFO role. So what were the major challenges that you faced when you entered into this CFO side, and what is the different thing that you did? If somebody is working in a public sector bank, how that is different from a private sector bank? In terms of role, how does that evolve, or how different is it?
In a public sector bank, you do everything. In a private sector bank, there is division of work.
You have also done FRM. How does certification plays a role in anybody's career, especially in finance, and what certification they should focus on, or how to decide a particular certification?
Certification is very important when you are entering a career. When you are starting your career, FRM is, the number one risk certification in the world.
A lot of young students who are coming into the finance field, and they want to look at corporate finance as a division. So if they want to enter, what skill set ideally they should have? Hello friends, I hope everybody is doing good. Hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves. And I also help students preparing for competitive exams in finance. And as a part of that journey, we also go and connect with people from the industry, and they guide our students on how the industry works, how to make a career in finance. And that is what the podcast is all about we are doing right now. So we have with us Rameshwar Sir, and he's a CFO for a company, and he's going to be talking about his entire journey into the corporate side, and he's also going to shed light on the career aspect or the skill aspect that is needed right now in the industry. So Rameshwar Sir, first of all, thank you very much for taking out time and talking to us for this. For the audience, if you can give a brief on your career journey and what are the key milestones that you have achieved in this journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling me here for this podcast. And before I start, I must express my gratitude to you towards my level 1 and level 2 exams in FRM. It was, so smooth. I could clear it in one go. So once again, my gratitude to you.
Thank you, sir.
And I never destined to be I never wanted to be a finance professional. My interest was in physics. I did my graduation in physics, but during my college days or during my graduation days, the first wave of liberalization took place. That was our experience of we had to pledge our gold to Bank of England, and then a lot of things started happening. So my father's friend, my brother's colleague, they all advised that finance is something which is going to come up very nicely in this country for next 30, 40, 50 years. And that changed my mind from becoming a physics professor to a finance guy. So I started preparing. I joined Allahabad University as in MBA, and those times, finance was banking, and banking was a public sector bank.
Right.
So 94 we came up with the new private sector bank licenses. Prior to that, it was pure public sector. And probationary officer was one of the plum posters which was considered after UPSC exams. So I prepared for, during my MBA days, I started preparing for POs as well. And I was lucky enough to get selected in different banks. And finally, I chose Oriental Bank as my place where I would be working. Okay. So that is how I became a banker. I spent there a lot of time, nine and a half years, and move on to, then sometime in 2004, people started, some of my batch mates, they started moving to private sector banks.
Okay.
And one of my friends, he convinced me to jump the ship from public sector to private sector. So I went to IDBI Bank, and I spent there some time, but then again, it got converted into public sector. So from there, I went to ICICI Bank for a very brief period. And from ICICI Bank, I moved to HDFC Bank and stayed there for a very long time. I enjoyed working over there for around 12, 13 years. It was very, very, very nice experience. And that's how I became a banker, a finance professional. After that, I mean, 2018, I decided to start something different. I quit HDFC Bank. I started my own venture. I started consulting people on small and medium enterprises companies on lending side, on to the best of my knowledge on equity side as well.
Okay.
And I was doing this. Then one fine day, I got a call from someone with whom I had developed a relationship over 7, 8, 10 years, and he requested to for a meeting. And during the meeting, he asked me whether you would be willing to join a company in a listed space as a
Wow.
CFO. And see, company in a listed space as a CFO is a key managerial personnel. So that is what I mean kicked me to take up this responsibility. So that is how my entire journey of last 20, 25 years has shaped up.
Wow.
I'm enjoying. I'm fully enjoying my current role in the company.
Wow.
If you tell me I can take the name, it's not nothing. It's a company in out of home advertisement, one only listed company called Signpost India Limited,
Okay. Interesting.
Mumbai based.
Wonderful, sir. So, sir, a lot of young students who are coming into the finance field, and they want to look at corporate finance as a division. So, if they want to enter, what skill set ideally they should have, and how generally a career is made into that area?
See, finance is basically you should go. I mean, see, as one of my mentors used to say, finance is no brainer. It requires only common sense, and it requires your computational ability. So if you can add, subtract, multiply and divide, you can be a finance professional. So I mean, see, there are two basic necessities or requirements in my opinion. One is that you should be good at numbers, and then you should have a soft skill called storytelling.
Right.
So storytelling doesn't mean that you should be able to write books and write stories. Storytelling means converting numbers into stories, or vice versa, converting stories into numbers.
Okay.
So this is how you can become a very good corporate banker, valuer, commercial banker, or any other finance professional.
Okay.
This is in my opinion, sir, you require
Okay.
these two qualities.
Okay. One small question connected to it, that when we said corporate banking, so if somebody is working in a public sector bank, how that is different from a private sector bank? In terms of role, how does that evolve, or how different is it?
So see, banking is banking. Okay. So everywhere, only difference is in a public sector bank, you do everything.
Achha,
In a private sector bank division, there is division of work. So everyone is a specialist in a corporate bank, in a
Public sector bank.
private sector bank.
Achha, sorry. Yeah,
In
private
a
sector.
private sector bank, if you are doing sales, then you are in sales. You are doing retail sales, you are a retail salesperson. You are doing operations work, you are doing credit, you are a specialist into that. Public
Okay.
sector bank, they are trying to come up with those specialization in roles, but till now it is not of, as far as I understand, and my assumption is that they're not that successful. Everyone is doing everything. So you can call it an public sector banker is a jack of all, whereas corporate banker is master of one.
Okay, very, very interesting analogy that you had it. So now, from the certification perspective, you have also done FRM. How does certification plays a role in anybody's career, especially in finance, and what certification they should focus on, or how to decide a particular certification?
Certification is very important when you are entering a career. When you are starting your career, that point in time, certification. If you have good certification from good places, it will certainly give you better positioning, better remuneration at the start itself. Post that, it is your work, your experience, your results that matter. But see, as a starting, point for an student, certification is somewhat required. See, you go there as a plain graduate and you go there with certain good quality certifications. There will be difference in perception. So finance, I mean, finance has, I mean, a lot of divisions. If you are looking at, let's assume you are looking at a risk profile. Certainly you must go with the FRM or equivalent something, but FRM is, I mean, the number one risk certification in the world. Similarly, you are looking for a corporate banking or corporate finance, look for CFA or equivalent kind of, or you should go there with a good quality top class MBAs. Then you have a very long and very satisfying and growth oriented journey. Subsequent, I mean, so these are initial periods which I'm talking about. Similarly, I mean, now a lot of specializations are also coming up in the banking. So someone is doing ESG courses. There are many, I mean, even GARP offers one or two SCR or something like. I mean, so these certifications do play an important role at your start of the career. So any student who is doing graduation or post graduation, if he does it parallelly, one of these certifications, you spend some more time, you spend a little bit of, or if you have gone into job, you have started your career somewhere, spend some time in acquiring these certificates. These are very important to give you growth that is required. Subsequently, you can, I mean,
you can use that knowledge to grow in the industry, basically. Now, coming back to the role that we were talking about, the CFO role. So your banking experience and CFO role. So what were the major challenges that you faced when you entered into this CFO side, and what is the different thing that you did?
See, as far as, I mean, finance is finance. Again, I mean, I'll say it's pure arithmetic. I'm not using jargons, and I'm plain simple. Banking is one of the parts. Say if there are 100 parts of 100 divisions of finance, banking is one of those. But finance, CFO role requires much more than a banking role is. Banking role is basically tactical. Finance role is strategic. I mean, I'm talking about CFO. CFO role is much larger. It looks at much larger business landscape. CFO is basically a strategic planner for the company, in terms of large, long-term financial planning, in terms of cross-functional collaborations, in terms of CFO is a change agent for many organizations. So he leads the changes. CFO is a data-driven decision maker. So these are the new modern CFO roles are like this. So as long as I understand, or as far as I am concerned, somehow I feel, I mean, I have got this role. I mean, immersed into this role very nicely. I didn't face any issues. And in any case, banking, I left some 4 or 5 years back. And in the meantime, I was working as a CEO, CFO of, I mean, my own company. So nothing much of a challenge, but someone straightway coming from banking to a CFO role, he must keep whatever I have said. I mean, and in addition to some more points, he should keep in mind that these are the important aspects that one should keep in mind.
And what about relationship management? So when you grow up in the ladder, this is what we hear, that relationship management is very, very important, because that's where people get selected or you get opportunities. So what is your view on that?
So relationship everywhere it matters. Everywhere it matters. So I'll start from my banking days. So you should have a relationship with cross-functional teams. So let's assume I'm in sales. So I should have a relationship with the credit team. I should have a relationship with the operations team, so that the journey is smooth for my customer. I should have a relationship with my boss. I should have a relationship with my customer. I should have a relationship with everybody. It's very, very, very important. So how it happens? Relationship in terms of customers. You go meet. See, I used to meet 100 customers, out of which one or two leads will get converted.
Right.
But then once you meet a customer, and whether lead is getting whether he is giving you business or not, you should create an impression that 6 months, 1 year, 2 years down the line, he should remember you. Someone came and met me and
Yes.
advised me in such a manner that it is beneficial to me. Whether I have dealt with him or not is a separate matter. This is how I used to work. I used to, whenever I used to meet people, customers, vendors, who are supplying to us, who we are, giving services to. This is how, you create value for those people. Intangible, you are not, spending anything, expect whatever is there in your
Right.
mind, in your brain. You create relationships. So,
Okay.
I still keep on getting calls from HDFC Bank customers that boss, can you help me on this? Can you? It's 5 years that I left organization. So this is
Right.
how relationship is something very important, very, very basic. Good old days, we used to have a lot of relationship. Personal, professional. Now we call it networking.
Yeah,
New fancy words have come up,
Yeah.
networking and all those. But this purely your relationship. And one more thing, if relationship is without consideration, it lasts much longer. This is what people should, and students or new generation people should aspire for.
Perfect. And one point that you mentioned, that you moved from public sector to private. Now, right now also there are a lot of people who are planning to do that. So what is your one advice to them, that when you're planning this move, what you should focus on?
First of all, you should have an objective why you are moving. So, right. So, what is that objective? So, see, if you are a public sector banker, there is every probability that you will be successful in a private organization.
Acha, the good chances that you,
There
because you have seen so
every-
many things in public sector. Right?
Every probability that you will be successful.
Okay.
So what is your objective of moving out of public sector to private sector? Is it money? Is it growth? Is it stability in one place? Public sector, you get transfer here and
Transfer,
there.
yes.
So you want to stay at one place, your family obligations, whatever. So based on that, you have to choose an organization where you're trying to go. Just don't go by the name. You choose an organization which suits your objective, and then changing organization is not an issue. I think, especially public sector bankers or public sector, not only bankers, other PSUs, public sector undertaking people, when they move out and go to equivalent private sector, they are mostly successful people because they know everything.
That is, I think, too, one of the beauty, that when you join as a PO also, you get to work into a lot of teams and you understand how exactly a bank works. It is obviously a lot of work, but learning is immense in that entire process.
So first 2 years, you are made to work in all the departments. You get trained on every small things, clerical and then officer. Both levels you are supposed to work and enhance your skills and understand the system and processes. So public sector public sector personnel are one of the assets in the country, and wherever they go, if their intentions and their way of working is good, they excel.
And if somebody wants to get into senior roles, okay, so what should be the transition for them, or what skills, or what is one thing that will differentiate and bring them to the senior level?
You're talking about people starting at
Or middle management, they're
middle
already in middle management and they want to move to senior level. So how they should plan, or what is the thing that they should focus?
See, first and foremost is that what differentiation you are bringing from people who are already working over there.
Okay.
What is the differential factor that you are bringing in? Number one. Then how you are implementing it, whether it is successful or not. So this will get tested over a period of 1, 2, 3 years. Then you get selected, or you get in the eyes of management that this guy is doing well. And continuously performing well after, I mean, that initial positioning will lead you to a senior position in private organizations.
But it's not only about doing your job.
Differential.
So what is that extra part? What is that extra? So is it only, I mean, say for example, learning about what other teams are doing, understanding the product, understanding the business, that is what is required.
No. So what differential you are making to the organization?
Acha, okay. The value add.
Value add,
the
whatever is there,
Okay.
what value you are adding, what you have brought in with your previous organization or within your whatever new things that you can. Let's assume, I mean, there is a traditional way of analyzing a credit. So you come back, you come to a organization, you try to do it in you try to bring in some technology that manual intervention gets reduced, and there is some mundane work gets transferred to the machine.
Right.
So final decision will be taken by the human being only, but you have done something which has reduced and which was not there in the mind of management. You have brought in brought in that idea yourself. So something, graduating, coming to an organization at a middle level and then growing into senior role is not that easy unless you are bringing in differentiating factors.
And again, the relationship part will also be needed.
The relationship part is separate. So see, if you are performing well, you are doing something different, the relationship automatically gets. Everyone wants a milking cow. So yes.
Okay.
So if you are performing well, automatically relationship will get developed.
Okay. People will respect you. They will talk to you. Right. Wonderful.
You'll get due recognition. I mean, see, it's the beauty of private organization. No organization leaves a performing employee.
One connecting point, how does loyalty to an organization comes into picture? Because right now, a lot of people are leaving organization very fast. So what is your view on that?
So I worked in 4 organizations. First one was 9.5 years. It was, I mean, public sector, loyalty and these factors are separate. But I mean, see, there was job security kind of. But then I didn't stay too much into the IDFI bank because there was some other issue. And similarly, I didn't stay at ICICI bank because of some other issue. But I stayed with HDFC. And I see, not because being loyal, but because performance and because being loyal. I mean, second it comes.
Okay.
I couldn't have, I come from very low, I mean, lower middle class family. The tier T city, lower middle class family, average. And it was this organization where I worked for longer period and I got rewarded suitably. I mean, I couldn't have even thought of what I have today because of this place. So loyalty per se, I don't want to use the word loyalty, but longevity is a better word. See, the more you stay with an organization, there's, again, I'm using the word probability. There is high probability with the passage of time, your reward will exponentially increase.
But if suppose there are young guys who are coming out of college and they are choosing company, from your experience, what they should look at when they are choosing a particular company?
One thing is that, I mean, it's very sad state of affairs that you don't have too much of choice to choose. Let me be very frank. But if you have, look for the best organization in the field, top class, where the corporate governance is of highest standards, where people are treated ethically. Even if you have a 10% lower salary as compared to competitor. So number one, because you get to learn a lot of best practices in these organizations, and that will stay for you in lifelong.
This is a very good perspective that when you join a top organization in the sector, they are doing things very differently and they're setting benchmarks. So I think so, and you'll grow also very fast.
System, processes, ethical treatment of resources, human resources. Now we don't call them people, we call them resources. So human resources. But you get to learn so many things. You get to meet so many good guys that they will mentor you lifelong. Best in class organization where human resources practices are ethical. This is even 10% lower salary is okay. This personal view.
Experience, yes. Now, one point is that when you look back at your career, was there any mistake that happened and that turned out to be very good, or some bad thing initially you thought, okay, this is not good, but it turned out to be very good, and what are the lessons that you learned from that?
So you keep making mistakes. I mean, it's not that see, I'm scot free or kind of that. Everyone makes mistakes. A mistake is a mistake when it is unique. If it gets repeated, then it's not a mistake.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
So I made mistakes. I don't want to get specific into it. I mean, I made a lot of mistakes and I suffered also, but then I got rewarded also. Specific, I don't want to get, but yes, I did make a lot of mistakes, which I.
But what are the lessons that a student or a fresher can learn from this, from the career perspective?
So same. I mean, see, don't make the same mistake again and again. One mistake, one time. If see your 1,000 or 10,000 mistakes are forgiven if it is unique. Even if it is entailing financial loss to organization, you will be always pardoned if the unique mistake is unique. Don't make same mistake. Don't repeat. Then it is not a mistake. Then it is your casual approach, or it is your way of working.
This is a very interesting point. That unique wala point. Now, I'll use it in my sessions also to guide the students. Now we have a final section where we talk about. We'll give you one line and we'll ask you to give your views very fast on that. Okay. So one is favorite part of your current role as CFO.
So driving innovation and being a change agent.
Wonderful. One skill students should develop for a successful career in finance.
So analytical thinking is something which is required for
day in, day out. Okay. A book every aspiring finance professional should read.
So there are many. I mean, someone is starting, he can go for Benjamin Frank's The Intelligent Investor, or you can go for Principles, Life and Work from Ray Dalio. These are two initial books that one should read.
Okay. What's more challenging, managing team or managing finance?
Both are very challenging, but in relative terms, managing team is more difficult. If you want to tell me, you want me to tell you the reasons. So, emotional quotient, then diversity, way of thinking, gender biasness. So there are many. I mean, but human intelligence, we call it. I mean, so these are things. I mean, managing team is a little trickier than.
We also think in a very complicated manner, na? And when we have a team of people who are senior or people who have experience, so this is what my manager told me, that when you grow, you have a good team of people who are experienced. You have to manage people's ego, okay? Because a lot of time they will not do it just because it comes in their ego.
So that is emotional quotient.
Yeah, emotional quotient. So very interesting point, and the conversation has been very good. So, and I'm sure that a lot of our audience will love this podcast and they will learn a lot, and wonderful experience. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
So thank you again, sir, for taking out time and talking to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.